Chapter 20. The sun dropped quickly. The sky grew as black as the waters that surrounded us. The four of us sat hunched close together, hugging ourselves for warmth. There was no room to stretch out or lie down. Salty tried pushing his legs straight out, and his boots trailed in the water. Madeline's head was down, and her hair covered her face. I couldn't tell if she was sleeping or not. Sean leaned his head against my shoulder and shut his eyes. My teeth were chattering. I tried to think warm thoughts. I thought about a sandy beach in sunlight, and about big steaming bowls of chicken soup. It actually helped a little. The raft slid up and down on the waves. The ocean was pretty gentle, but I still felt as if I was riding an endless roller coaster. My stomach growled. I lowered my head and shut my eyes, but I knew I couldn't sleep. This is the worst night of my life, I told myself. It can't get any worse than this. That's when I felt a hard bump. Something jolted the raft, lifting it off the water. Huh? What's that? All four of us were alert now, gazing around frantically. Another hard bump sent the raft sliding off a wave. I gripped the planks, pressing my hands into the wood. My entire body stiffened in fright. Sharks, Sean stuttered. Another bump made me scream. Madeline placed a hand on my shoulder. Let them have their fun. They'll swim away soon. Sharks never stay still. But what if they're hungry? I demanded. Don't put your hands or feet in the water to find out, Salty chimed in. Another bump from under the raft made us all scream. I bounced hard. Sean grabbed me and held onto my arm. Does anyone know the pirate's prayer? Pepper asked. I'd like to say the pirate's prayer now. There's no such thing, Salty said. Too bad, Pepper said. This would be a good time for it. I was gritting my teeth so hard my jaw ached. I hugged myself tightly, as if that could keep me safe. I squinted into the black water, trying to see the shark that kept attacking us. But it was too dark to see anything. Too dark to see where the water ended and the sky began. I'm not going to cry, I told myself. For one thing, it was too cold to cry. I imagined my tears freezing, turning to ice on my cheeks. I have to be brave for Sean. He clung to my arm, his head down, his shoulders trembling. The shark is gone, I whispered. Sean, do you see? It's not bumping the raft anymore. He didn't raise his head. That's good, he whispered. But Salty and Pepper are right. We can't survive out here. I wanted to reply with something cheerful or optimistic, but I couldn't think of anything. So I just patted his arm and stayed silent. How did we survive that dreadful night? I don't know. I must have fallen asleep somehow. When I opened my eyes, a red ball of a sun was climbing the purple-pink sky. Beams of light trickled through the ocean waters. I blinked myself alert. My arms and legs felt stiff. My hair had matted over my face. I brushed it away and saw a sailing ship in the distance. Hey! I gave a hoarse shout. My throat was still clogged from sleep. Hey! Look! Madeline raised her head and turned toward where I was pointing. Salty and Pepper had been snoring loudly together. They coughed themselves awake and stared at the ship. It has black sails! Sean exclaimed. Another pirate ship! Salty cried. Come to rescue us! Does it see us? Pepper demanded. The two-headed sailor jumped to his feet. He began shouting at the ship and jumping up and down. Easy, easy, Madeline warned. You'll tip us over. But she jumped up and began waving both arms frantically at the approaching ship. The black sails seemed to grow larger as the big ship broke through the waves, sweeping toward us. We're going to be saved, I cried. I don't believe it! It's coming to rescue us! Sean and I cheered as the hull of the ship bounced in the water. White waves rolled off the pirate ship's sides as it picked up speed. Salty and Madeline were still on their feet, waving wildly to the ship. They see us! Salty cried. Yes, they see us! No, they don't! Pepper shouted. They don't see us! Look out! Pepper was right. I gasped in horror and grabbed onto Sean. They don't see us! They're going to crash right into us!
Slappy here, everyone! I hate when that happens. When a ship crashes into you and you drown instantly. Don't you hate that too? Thank goodness the story doesn't end here. I don't think that ending would make a splash with anyone. What do you think happens now? I don't know. I get a sinking feeling when I think about it. I've got one thing to say to Violet and Sean. You should have brought a towel.